I learned so much as I started learning and growing about everybody was not wired like me. And so I started learning that, there's probably 4 dominant personalities that people possess. And I'll get to those in a minute. But one of my mentors was in the military, a lieutenant colonel, and he taught the Myers-Briggs class. And I learned real early that was kind of complicated for my simple mind, but I did discover that I was a very strong ESTJ, which means I'm an extrovert, I'm sensing, I'm a thinker, and I'm judging. So circumstances that surround that. But then I discovered the DISC profile, written by Dr. Walter Martin. And he is a fascinating study in himself, but he came up with these 4 dominant type personalities. Everybody has at least one dominant, but some have like a combination of some. You also may recognize his last name because he also invented Wonder Woman, which I thought was a pretty neat fact. And then the last thing is he also invented the lie detector. So pretty neat background. So he created this DISC profile: D, domineering; I, influencing; C, conscientious; and S, steadfast. And so that was fun. I taught that many years, and then I discovered my fun part. This was Dr. Gary Smalley, and Dr. John Trent. And they wrote a kid's book. And the kid's book was called The Learning Tree. And I'm like, what in the world? So as I read through there, I discovered that those 4 personalities were tied to animals. And so that made a lot of sense to me. So instead of thinking about the leader, the dominant person, now I see a lion. And then you have the otter, which is the phlegmatic or the very party looking for a place to happen. And then you have the really high I. The I was the otter. And then the C, which was conscientious, that's the beaver. The one always building the little dam and all that stuff. And every piece had a place. And then the last one was the golden retriever, the steadfast. So I took all those assessments and kind of jumbled around and figured out who I was. And that really helped me, and it helped me to relate to people better too, because I realized that we're not all made the same. And with that in mind, I'm a high C, D type leadership. So I'm more of the beaver. I like checklists, and I like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And so what I've learned from that's really who I am and how I work best. So a brief story to go along with that. I've run a lot of different groups of people and teams. And one of the ones that I ran was a part of the dive unit. And it was very interesting to go back and think through this, we had two lions, 3 beavers, and 2 otters. We had no loyalty there whatsoever. So no golden retrievers. But every job was different, because until we began to accept others' personalities as unique for them, and for them to understand our personalities, then that made all the difference in our ability to work together. And you'll find, and I could show this in every job I've ever had, in every group I've been around, that when you understand those personalities and you accept those of one to another, it can really make the environment a more positive place, and believe it or not, production will be higher. So I want to leave you with this, that your personality or the typing that you have, it's not a license. It's not a license to make excuses why you are the way you are, and it's not a license for your weaknesses. That you have to improve on your weaknesses, because that will help you join together and make things better as a cohesive team. And by the way, these personality studies, they not only help at work, but they help at home, and they help with your kids. And it can be a real life changer for you when you understand different personalities.